everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tech Tides. My name is Nitin. I'm the Associate Director for Research at ThinkTeal. Uh, we have come up with a brand new episode which talks about one of the buzz word which is become prevalent in today's context. We keep hearing about this topic every now and then. There are a lot of developments happening around this topic. Uh, I am specifically talking about generative AI, which most of you might have heard very frequently these days. In the past 2 years, this has become a buzzword, and a lot of industry folks are coming up with new things around generative AI. Since ThinkTeal tracks ICT market very closely, we thought it is a right time to pick up this topic and come up with our uh, report on this. ThinkTeal has come up with a brand new report on generative AI, and we have with us our author of this report, Mr. Rakesh Style. I take this opportunity to welcome Rakesh to this episode of Tech Tides.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Nitin. It is indeed a pleasure to be back on Tech Tides. And like you rightly said, generative AI is an area which is not unfamiliar to the enterprise IT space and the people working within it. So, like you said, it was a pleasure working on this technology, creating a report, and I'm glad that we were able to publish it right on time when GenAI is still a buzzword and an area as hot as ever.
Yeah, great. So, Rakesh, as a standard process, we have few questions which I'm sure our audience will also have would be keen to know around this topic, and more particularly with respect to this report. Without wasting much time, I would straight away get into the questions that we have, and get your inputs or your responses on these.
Of course, Nitin. I'd be glad to answer them.
Sure. So, Rakesh, my first question to you is, there are many reports that highlight the potential of generative AI that are out there in the market. What truly makes your report unique and indispensable for Indian enterprises navigating through their generative AI journey?
See, when we talk about generative AI, right, most enterprises are really excited, but at the same time, they're also hesitant. It's not about what GenAI can do, it's about figuring out where to start. So, our report, it pretty much stands out because it's written with the exact challenge in mind. We don't just list possibilities in our report, like we try to guide organizations on how to take that first step. So, for Indian enterprises facing unique hurdles, like let's say resource constraints or lack of clear use cases, owing to GenAI being a niche technology, this report, and we hope, acts like a playbook, helping them move from should we to how can we. It's designed to be practical, actionable, and aligned with real world scenarios so that these enterprises can make confident decisions going forward if they were to implement generative AI as a technology.
Got it. So that's an interesting take. Should we to how can we? That actually sets the context as to where to start when any company is trying to implement their AI related projects. So tell me something, Rakesh. Data is often considered as a backbone for generative AI. How does your report emphasize the critical role of data, and what should enterprise prioritize to ensure that their data strategies align with the successful generative AI implementation?
That's pretty much the question I was hoping to hear, because it is impossible to talk about generative AI without talking about data. But it's not just about having a lot of data, right? So it's about having the right data. Clean, unbiased, and relevant data are pretty much non negotiable if you have to talk about using data for generative AI. In our report, we talk about how enterprises can prepare their data for Gen AI, let's say from addressing hidden biases to adopting new techniques, maybe like synthetic data generation. So we also highlight how critical it is to maintain data privacy and security, two key elements that are essential for any enterprise, right? Especially in sensitive industries where we have a lot of companies within the healthcare and financial sectors trying to adopt Gen AI, testing their waters, right? So Gen AI models need continuous input and recalibration, and that
Mhm.
alone requires constant data monitoring to ensure accuracy. So all in all, the big takeaway is that data isn't a one-time task with respect to Gen AI. It's a constant effort, if you may, to stay ahead and get the best results.
Yeah. So you did mention about data is, I mean, it's a continuous task, monitoring the data, monitoring the quality of data. Another aspect of data is the security concerns. What if my data, an organization might think, what if my data falls into wrong hands, and it might hamper their growth or impact their competitive posture in the market. So the question here is, with the rise of generative AI, security concerns are becoming an increasingly significant issue. So what are the potential security threats posed by generative AI, and how does your report guide enterprises in mitigating these risks?
I'm sure a lot of CISOs have the very same question on their minds as well. Because if you remember when ChatGPT came into prominence, like a lot of enterprises have banned the use of ChatGPT, citing security concerns. But security is one of those things you can't afford to overlook when implementing Gen AI. So the risks are evolving as far as the technology itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, think about issues like model hijacking, where your malicious actors can manipulate your AI systems, or AI driven phishing attacks that are becoming more sophisticated because it's very hard to discern between a human generated and an AI generated phishing attack, right? So it's almost as authentic as it can get. But our report dives into practical solutions, things like using secure model environments, leveraging advanced encryption, and regularly testing for vulnerabilities. At the same time, it's not just about tools alone. It's also about a mindset. Security is always about a mindset of an enterprise, right? So organizations need to view security as a journey rather than a one-time task. So by taking a proactive and a layered approach, enterprises can innovate without compromising their data or their trustworthiness.
Okay, got it. So another major issue that we generally hear is the choice of infrastructure. A lot of enterprises have this dilemma whether to go for on-premise implementation or cloud implementation. What insights does your report provide to help enterprise navigate this decision effectively?
Yeah, frankly speaking, this is a dilemma indeed, for not just for enterprises. It was even for me when I was writing my report. Which stand should I take, or how do I assess the market, right? But infrastructure choices can feel overwhelming at times, but they don't have to be actually. On-premise setups offer unmatched control. Basically, you have all the control that you have, especially for industries that deal with sensitive data or, let's say, strict compliance norms. But the cloud, it provides scalability and access to cutting edge AI tools without hefty upfront investments. So basically, in our report, we try to emphasize that this decision doesn't have to be binary. So for many enterprises, a hybrid model strikes the perfect balance. So it's about understanding your specific needs today and where you're headed tomorrow. If you're able to assess that gap and by thinking ahead and making informed choices, enterprises can avoid infrastructure bottlenecks while still being able to stay agile.
Wonderful. I think, as you rightly said, probably organization it differs from organization to organization as to what is their requirement. Probably today and versus 3 to 5 years from now. Based on that, they may take a call whether to go for a hybrid kind of setup or on-prem or purely cloud kind of model. Wonderful, Rakesh. Those were really exciting inputs from your side. I once again thank you for joining us in this episode. I really recommend our audience to go through this report. There are really exciting insights that one can go through and make themselves know what is happening from the generative AI market point of view. With that, I thank you once again, Rakesh, for your all your valuable inputs.
Thank you so much, Nitin, for first of all for those great questions. Yes, generative AI is a very exciting space, but it's also one that needs careful planning and clear direction. So our report is here to make that journey easier for Indian enterprises. To all our listeners, if you are curious about where to start or how to scale your GenAI efforts, we highly recommend that you download our report today. And you don't need to stop with that. So we'd love to also hear your thoughts and experiences. If possible, please do leave your thoughts and comments below this video. And if you have any queries, please feel free to reach out to us. I hope we can keep exploring this together. Thank you once again for listening to our episode patiently, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next episode.